Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our Manchester derby away at the Etihad, and we're following up with an FA Cup tie against Swansea. In terms of our league position, we're currently still in the mid-table area. We sat in 10th place. We had a decent run of form, but then we lost against Brentford and Everton, two sides which are above us. And then the players had another go, saying we need to change tactic, do this and do that. And at the end of the day, players are good enough. Looking at that, we've got players left, right, and centre that are more than good enough to be capable of challenging toward the top of the league. But for whatever reason at the moment, it is just not happening. I've tried different tactical changes and so on. We've just had a good 1-0 win against Chelsea, though. But for whatever reason, we can't seem to get any consistency to our performances. Matisse Tell could be on his way out to Atletico Madrid. We've accepted a £40 million offer for him. We've got a few players loan listed as well, so hopefully one or two of the backups can go out and get some first team football out on loan. But it's just every single time we lose, more players start getting on the bandwagon, and it's just not happening. And unfortunately, with the way it's going, I can't see us lasting a full season here at Manchester United. We've made some really good signings, and some of the performances have been fantastic, but at the same time, others just have let us down. And unfortunately, in the Premier League, when you're constantly chasing, it's just not going to happen, is it? We had the late kickoff today as well, but if we're going to get a result out of this game today, we're going to have to be majorly on point. Pajoy scored an absolute worldie in the previous Manchester derby for City to win 1-0 in the 88th minute. And to be honest, I'm hoping for something a little bit similar today. If we can keep the game close, which when the keeper is coming out and trying to claim the ball and missing it completely and allowing a tap in for the likes of Phil Foden, we're not going to be winning games. And unfortunately, too many of these mistakes are happening, especially defensively. And again, I'm not entirely sure what we can do about it. We've got the quality, but the players just are not buying into this system. We've tried to change tactic. We've gone back to this 4-2-3-1. Results have been better. But then we changed to this formation, won a game, and then the different group of players came in and said we need to change formation again. So one set of players are happy because we changed and it worked. The other set, because we haven't changed, even though this change worked, are getting on me back again. And there's not really a lot I can do. If we keep changing tactic here, there, and everywhere, the players aren't going to know what day it is. So it's literally a case of sticking and see what happens. But with the way it's going at the moment, I can't see us lasting the full season. And yeah, it's a difficult one. And the majority of the games that we have lost have all been away from home as well, I might add. We've actually got 7 home games out of 9 matches in January. And Youngblood has just won possession here off the defender and he's finished it superbly, smashing it into the bottom corner. So we have managed to draw level here. If we can get a result against Manchester City today, whether it be a draw or a win, that's got to lift spirits. But at the moment, morale is crashing and burning. Um, just because if one player's unhappy, then more start getting on the bandwagon, like I say. So it's it's a bit of a difficult one. We originally had accepted a bid for Sesko from Chelsea for 70 million. I've now cancelled that because we couldn't really find a replacement. I have been looking around for one. Um, so he will remain at the club for now as Foden gets in and Whitbread makes a very good save there, actually. Um, but Matisse Tell, we have been potentially seeking potential destinations for him. And it looks like he could be on his way to Atletico Madrid in a £40 million deal. So it's a good amount of money to come in for a player that we're not really using, in all honesty. So hopefully we can maybe enter the market. It's going to be a very difficult market for the quality of play that we need. It will be difficult, but we'll have to see how we do. So far, so good, really. At 1-1, Youngblood the standout performer with his goal. Other than that, performances have been pretty poor. Gluck and Šeško both not really getting into the game. Šeško did score the winner against Chelsea, funnily enough. That was while the bid was in process as well. So, you know, we're showing signs, but we're just lacking the result to back it up, unfortunately. We're going to fire the boys up a little bit here. And as you can see, there's a lot of unhappy faces down here in terms of the player attitude. And again, there's not really an awful lot I can do about it. We're trying to get the players to get going, and it's just not happening. But again, everybody's shattered as well. We've had a game every 3 days. And I know for a fact, as soon as we make substitutions here, we will start to lose our position a bit. But um, we're going to have to. We'll get Matisse Tell on and Guilherme out wide. Matisse Tell, it's going to be his last game for the club probably. And Juan Cruz Moro will bring on up front for Šeško. And in midfield and defence, we're struggling as well. Salvatore Dusi is going to come on for Biner. And we'll get Dixon off for Correa. And we'll just hope for the best. I've got to leave Cook and Hajo on because they're our two best holding midfield players. So we've just got to try and find a way. Medina loses possession to Uatara. And now Ben Seguir coming down the left-hand side, swings it in. Haaland with a free header. That's the second time Whitbread has come out and missed his claim for the ball. And again, it's a tap-in, and it's two big goalkeeping errors from Whitbread. The substitutions haven't even taken place yet, so we can't even blame that. But two big errors from Whitbread, and I think a goalkeeper is going to be the order of the day, unfortunately. I have got one in mind, but whether we can get the deal done or not is a different matter. And we have been beaten here by the better side. Manchester City, once again, doing us over thanks to a later goal. Haaland and Foden, the two legends of Manchester City. Given the state, I mean, it's 2034 here, so they've continued to stay and play. They both pounced on a goalkeeping error, and as such, we're now 10 points off the Champions League spots. So we're really falling behind on the pace now. Yeah, like I say, I don't think I'm going to be here until the end of the season at this rate. We keep trying, but again, it's going to be extremely difficult. We've actually got, what is it? Schedule. There's only a few days until the FA Cup game, so we need to reset quickly. And hopefully when we come back, we can get a win in the FA Cup. But we've got Arsenal to play in the Premier League next. Then we've got Liverpool in the Carabao Cup, Liverpool in the Premier League as well. We're not going to have an easy time of it. And if we lose more often than not in January, we could be in for a very tough rest of the season. I can't see us getting past Liverpool in the Carabao Cup at the moment. The Europa League games should offer a little bit of respite for us, really. But going in toward the end part of the season, it does mean that all the hard games are done and dusted for the most part. We have got Tottenham away there, though. Newcastle away. Brentford, Everton and Chelsea in the last month of the season will be difficult as well. But jumping a bit far ahead, we've got to get there first. And starting with our next game, which I'll be back momentarily for, against Swansea in the FA Cup. Okay then, guys, here we go for the game at home against Swansea. It's, I mean, I'm trying desperately to hold everything together with the squad at the moment. Matisse Tell is still here. He will play today in what will be definitely his last start. And we are going to offer a bit of rotation today as well. Give some of the younger players some game time and just give them an opportunity, really. Separach will play in behind Morel today with Guilherme in there. Kind of want to play Rob Dahl, to be honest, as well, but it's a bit difficult to work him into the side as well. In fact, I think what I'll do, Separach can start up front and Dahl can go into the midfield. It's a bit harsh on Dahl, really. He's not really settled into the side the way we wanted him to, which is a bit of a shame considering the amount of money that we did spend on him, in all honesty. Gert is going to start in goal today. and we'll give an opportunity to Humphreys at centre-back as well. And Yerushalmi, Ducey, all starting in there. And hopefully we've got enough about us to get through this FA Cup tie, and if not, changes will be made quite swiftly, to be honest. The two players that seem to be kicking up a massive fuss at the moment appear to be Gluck and Sesko. So I'm debating. I'm not fully convinced I will, but I'm debating on selling the two of them. Sesko, we nearly agreed a move for him to go to Chelsea anyway. But both him and Oscar Gluck have probably arguably been our best players this season. So it's a big risk to take, and it's one that I'm not too sure about going through with at the moment, but it's something to think about for sure. Here is Rob Dow switching the play to Matisse Tell, who cuts inside, and the strike took a big deflection off the Swansea defender Lewis Brown, and we have a lead here. Matisse Tell in his last game for the club being instrumental in that one, but not quite managing to get himself on the score sheet as of yet. Own goal given. But again, going forward, we do seem quite positive. It's just Whitbread in goal. Andreas Geert is a good young goalkeeper, but he's not quite ready to make that constant step up. And we haven't got anyone to back the two of them up either. So we've got big decisions to make. Lucas Correa there with a lovely header. Luis Guillem with the assist from the set piece. Correa with a very good header. And it's his first goal for the club since signing. And hopefully we'll just build a little bit of morale today, given the way the match has started. 2 goals reasonably early on. If we can get a good win today and just build the morale up a little bit, we can hopefully go into this January month with a little bit of momentum behind us. I've just noticed Everton are beating Arsenal 2-0. Everton are a really strong side at the moment. And certainly going to be one to keep an eye on, that is for sure. But 2-0 at half-time. Not too much happening after that second goal. But we have been dominant in the match. And we'll just let the lads know to keep doing what they're doing. Hadjo is struggling a little bit for fitness, so we will probably bring him off, to be honest, because we are looking quite comfortable. And Hayes can come on in that central midfield against his former club. And Ducey again, only rating a 6.4. He has been so poor. I think, to be honest, Griffith can come on for Ducey as well. We did have Griffith in our under-21 side, and he's improved a little bit from all the training he's been doing. So I brought him back into the senior side, and then if we can potentially sell Rippis or Ducey, because neither of them have really settled into the side this season, then there will be a chance for Griffith to be a good backup for us, and he's only 17, so certainly one for the future from our point of view. Here is Hayes, trying to charge through the midfield, just holding on to it, and lays it back to Griffith, who charges down that right-hand side. Can he get the cross in? Yes, he can. And Matisse Tell is there at the far post. He's made it 3-0. Really good assist from Griffith there. And Tell with his last goal, potentially, for the club here. And to be quite honest, I think what we'll do after this replay is finished, we'll take Tell off, give him a bit of a standing ovation. Despite what you can see, we've had the glitch again where the fans aren't in the ground, but we have got quite a good attendance today. Tell is going to come off. We'll get Morrill on for the last 20 minutes or so. And I think, to be quite honest, we'll just leave it at that. And if we do need to make any other changes, we've got 2 that can be made in the meantime. Here is Vidal into Baticciotto. And Luis Guillem intercepting quite comfortably and finding Matisse Tell. Coming down this left-hand side, chopped into by Vidal. It's a very poor challenge. And Vidal has been sent off. It's a bit of a shame, really, from Swansea's perspective, because, I mean, they were beaten anyway. They didn't need that red card. But it's been a very comfortable game for us against the Championship side. And we're just seeing the game out at 3-0 here. It's a much more positive performance, as Luis Guillem here has got a corner and he swings it in toward the near post, and It's falling for Correa, and then Shepherd with the finish to make it his 5th of the season. He's had a decent season, to be fair, Shepherd. When he's been given the rare opportunity that he has, he's looked pretty decent. But again, we're just easing the 19-year-old into the side. But a neat finish on his left foot, 4-0, job done. And we head into the 4th round of the FA Cup. Wormleighton into Cadra. Swansea looking to potentially get onto something here. Gert with the punch clear as Mustafa picks it up and finds Hackney. It's a good strike from Hackney, and it's poor really from Gert. He needs to be doing better than that. It's a good finish from Hackney, like I say, but Gert's got to do a little bit better. The young keeper beaten at his near post. But at 4-1, we'll certainly take the positives from that. It was a pretty professional performance there. And we go into the 4th round of the FA Cup, and we will play Huddersfield or Aston Villa, I believe. So we've been drawn against Huddersfield. Huddersfield knocking out Aston Villa, so that's quite a surprise, really. There, Rob Dell just picking up a knock. Added Matisse Tell. It won't affect the transfer though, from going through. Huddersfield beating Aston Villa, so that's a bit of a shock. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful, but it should be a pretty winnable tie, that one. And we look to push on from there. More fixture rearrangements because of different ties happening, and the Carabao Cup game against Liverpool has actually been moved out of January and moved into February by the looks of it. We played Liverpool 3 times in 2 weeks because of that Carabao Cup, and we've got 3 home games in a row there and then 4 away games in a row, so bit of an interesting one. But going ahead, I think we've got opportunities. We'll get through all of January. Like I say, there's 6 games to get through, and we'll probably come back for Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final. And depending on how things go, we might show the Tottenham game or we'll show the second leg. So in the meantime, we've got a lot to get through, and hopefully we'll have a decent run of form. But like I say, 3 defeats in our last 4 Premier League games. And with Arsenal up next, we've got to be extremely careful. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.